Don't let your heart die. All right. It's a nice Monday night. How about me streaming lately, guys? Hope you've enjoyed it. I want to have a nice, relaxing, fun night tonight. Let me welcome everybody here first. All right, let's start. Jeff Overing, Erica Lauren, Johnny Darko, Basement Blues, Phil's Creepy Vids. There's Nick in the chat. Lost River Drive-In, of course. One half of the You Need a Horror podcast. Saturn Video, Scatterbrain, Alexis's Horror, excuse me. Or is it Alexis Horror or is it Alex's Horror? I'm going to say Alexis Horror. Hugo Stiglitz, Zachary. Dave Vanderhoff, of course, is here. Johnny Darko. Nathan Mills, how you doing? Don Morton. Sam Thomason, M85. We got a gorgeous audience tonight. This audience is just fantastic. So happy to have everybody here. We've got, it's Rudy. Alexis, of course. Hope you guys don't mind. How about we bring in a guest tonight? Are you guys all right with that? Have a little guest night. Maybe have more guests later on. Just depends on how the night goes. He's been on the show before. He's been on the channel a few times. He's a dear friend. And he just hit 1,000 subs on his YouTube channel. Let me welcome my good friend, Brandon Tabato from Tabato Vision TV. Welcome.
What is going on?
How you
Evening. Doing? Good. How are you doing, my good man?
I'm doing good. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
How have you been, dude? You been busy?
I've been real busy. Busy. It's been a crazy couple months, man. Crazy couple months. You?
You know, it's something new every day. But what's that Cinderella song? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
What's on the TV behind you today?
That is a looping Halloween 4 opening. Just the Halloween 4 countryside on a 4.5 hour loop.
Is that the video you made?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
A little bit of a shameless self-plugging there.
Absolutely. Plug away. That's why you're here.
That's right.
But yeah, I want to welcome you, man. This is just a CHH live. The chat's going to be dictating basically the show. I know I've got some physical media I'd love to show you in the chat of things I've got, things I need to watch. And also I think I saw you flashing some movies earlier too.
Touche. Yes. Agreed. Let's do it.
Go ahead. Show me what you got.
Well, the only thing I have lined up right now is that Ghoulies trilogy I wanted to show off real quick. I actually haven't opened it yet. So it's still in the box.
Oh, it's thick.
It's thick.
Looks like a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Are you going to open it on video?
I might do that. I'm kind of unprepared. So
maybe the chat will convince you to open it on this show. I don't know.
What do you guys think? Should I open it or what?
I don't know, guys. Should he open it on the show? He's here.
I'm here. I'm do this very carefully.
Oh, he's opening it now.
Right now.
Are you guys ready for some ghoulies?
Okay, so can you guys see that clearly? Here we go.
Let me blow you up.
All right. How many chins can you see?
Huh. Oh my god, is that the cat ghoulie? Oh my god, look at that. That is gorgeous.
I'm pretty stoked already, man. Like, this is pretty impressive.
Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College right there.
Christian, do you have this?
I have the Scream Factory 1 and 2, and then I have a DVD of Ghoulies 3. I never knew this existed. This is fucking gorgeous. Look at this.
I saw the unboxing online of somebody else, but I didn't expect it to be this impressive in person.
You're at a loss right now.
Dude, this is crazy.
Chat, what do you think? Isn't that nice? I see Jonathan asking a great question. I'm going to get to that in a second.
Guys, this was like $25. You need to go out and get this. I think I got this from Amazon. Brand new.
No, you did.
Look at that, right?
Let's go to Amazon right now. Should I buy it, guys?
You should.
Ghoulies Trilogy. Ghoulies.
Trilogia.
Look at that.
Pardon me if I'm not. I think I'm a little bit fuzzy, but beg your pardon.
I've got a ghoulie, Brandon.
Dude, I'm so jealous of that ghoulie you have. I need to buy one. But they're still like $200, aren't they? $300 or something?
I got mine for right at $200, I think.
See, $200 is a great price.
This is Jonesy. Well, let me take you out of full screen.
I can't see you. What's going on here?
Let me get you out of full screen. This is Jonesy.
Jonesy.
Yeah. How about that?
Love it. Would you say Ghoulies 2 is your favorite of the trilogy, Christian?
No, actually, Ghoulies 1, which
Same.
I know is not really a Ghoulies movie because they're not in the movie a whole lot.
Right.
Thank you. We got a super chat from my good pal Cody Lopke. He says, "I've got some Big Apple wax melting behind me." Oh man, I'm so glad you got some Big Apple. Those Big Apples, Brandon, that was the best seller. They kept selling out every time I put those Jason Takes Manhattan wax melts up. They just go. People like them.
I can imagine, man. That's if I need to pick up some, I need to get the Big Apple myself for sure.
Yeah. Well, for those that missed out on old stuff, I want to say really quick. I don't want to show my wax company too much. My wax melts products on our Etsy store right now. I've got a few Romeros left. Fresh flower smell. It's actually really, really nice. I've got a couple Del Toros left on the site. This is a spice tea. Gorgeous smell on that too. I've got one creature. This is the one creature left on the site. Updated artwork. As you see this little creature on the front. That smells lovely. Fresh water and aloe. That actually smells really, really good. And the last one we have is we got Hooper, which is based obviously off of the great Toby Hooper. And it's leather scent, which I think is intimidating to people. They think it smells bad, but it's actually like this really fragrant, fresh, almost kind of a cologne smell. But it's marketed as leather. It's really, really, it's actually really nice. But I think people are intimidated by it because they think what does leather smell like? It's actually really, really nice. So if you want that, guys, here, I'll drop the store in the chat real quick. And whoever wants that last creature, grab it. There's the link to the store in the chat. But Brandon, that's an awesome set. I'm really digging that.
I'm stoked.
If the people here, let's see what the people are saying. They're $5 a piece, Erica, Lauren. But listen, I'm not trying to just be a salesman here. Always buy two, because if you buy two, the shipping goes up like 15 cents. So if you buy two, you actually get a much better deal. Actually, if you buy three, they all fit in this small mailer. So if you buy three, you get the best deal. But just know that there's only one of these creatures left, and this one's not. And it's like a cool little souvenir. How could you even throw that away, Brandon? Look how nice that is.
That's awesome. So Christian 007, am I saying that name right? Says that the Jason Goes to Hell scent is on point. Do you have a Jason Goes to Hell scent? I missed this.
I had a So
describe the scent. Describe it.
I gotta say really quick. I gotta say that. And hello to everybody in the chat. We're gonna get to you in just a second. I'm watching your comments, so you're part of the show. Don't worry. We had a Friday the 13th sale this past Friday, literally a few days ago. We had Jason Goes to Hell Campfire Scent, Friday the 13th Part 4 Final Chapter. That was a toasted marshmallow. You would have loved that.
Nice.
We had a New Beginning, and people were like, "Why didn't you make that smell like enchiladas?" I was like, well, first of all, I want you people to actually burn these and use them, and you're not going to want enchiladas from your house. It actually was fresh linen, and most people, I think, got it. The reason I use fresh linen is because of the scene where Debbie Sue Voorhees is hanging the clothes on the clothesline outside. Then she goes and has sex.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. Hence the fresh linen. And then we had what else did we have? We had Part 4, Part 5. Jason Goes. Oh, and of course we had our Uber Jason, which was a space musk, is what I called it, which was like a nice cologne, kind of a formal scent. Really, really, that one went like that. And then we restocked the Big Apple, Jason Takes Manhattan, and people love that Jason Takes Manhattan. I put them on the store and they're gone. But it was remarkable. We put the listing up at 5:45. We said they were gonna be available at 6. We put the listing up at 5:45. By 6 o'clock, they were gone.
That's awesome.
They were gone. So
congrats on that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Everybody's been so supportive. It's been amazing. And I want to say right now to everybody, not this Friday, but next Friday is the Nightmare on Elm Street line. And I'm not going to disappoint you guys. We're going to do parts 1 through 5 for the first round. And I'm very excited, but I don't want to talk about that all night. I don't want to be a salesman. I want everybody to be a part of the show. So I want to say what's up to Boomstick Critique. Jason X is a fun sci-fi B movie. I would agree. Austin saying that Ghoulie set is sold out. Well, I'll have to wait to see what happens with that. How about a Dawn of the Dead melt? Mark out. That's a great idea. I'm going to do night, dawn, and day together. So be ready for that. Cannibal Holocaust candles. Oh, son of a bitch. You guys are crazy. Disturbing behavior is okay. JK Rant says if they smell like leather, should they be a Leatherface or Hellraiser candle? That's a $1 million question. But somebody was talking about Crimes of the Future, which is the new David Cronenberg film that just came out, Brandon. I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to say that I got it. I will be watching Crimes of the Future, which has
Nice.
a Viggo Mortensen's in it and Kristen Stewart, which is surprising. As the human species adapts to a synthetic environment, the body undergoes new transformations and mutations. With his partner Caprice, Saul Tenser, celebrity performance artist, publicly showcases the metamorphosis of his organs into avant-garde performances. Timlin, which is played by Kristen Stewart, an investigator from the National Organ Registry, obsessively tracks their movements, which is when a mysterious group is revealed. Their mission to use Saul's notoriety to shed light on the next phase of human evolution. I did a little investigating on this movie. It looks like David wrote this movie a long time ago, and he claims that this movie is more relevant today than ever before. So I'm excited. Viggo Mortensen's always a home run, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So excited for that. Saturn says it's an interesting movie. Alexa says it's interesting to say the least. Dylan says it's got a great score. Don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button. Amen to that. Of course, I picked up the Black Phone not long ago. Did you ever get around to this one, Brandon? Maybe not.
I have not. I'm excited to check it out, though. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, I thought my wife had the same feeling as me. Good movie. I think it was a little. I wouldn't have gone as high as a lot of the ratings. I thought it was good. Ethan Hawke always delivers a strong performance, but I won't spoil too much. But yeah, Black Phone there. I've got some really cool stuff now. So my good friend, big supporter of the channel, his name is Kyle. I never did show this off. I've been meaning to. He got me the nicest version of The Outsiders 4K I've ever seen. I mean, you want to hear the cast on this? C. Thomas Howell, Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Diane Lane, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise, and Leif Garrett. I mean, have you seen The Outsiders? This was a big book, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. What a movie.
You always forget how many famous people are in that movie until you watch it again. Like, holy shit, I forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah. In my opinion, when I watched this movie, the star of the movie, in my opinion, even though he's not the star of the movie, is Patrick Swayze. Because when I watch this, when I see Patrick on screen, I mean, even though Tom Cruise is in here, and you've got Emilio Estevez, which I love, when Patrick's on screen, he just he's got it.
He commands the scenes, man.
He's got it, and he's the older brother of the movie. He's just, I miss him. I wish he was still with us. But I mean, gorgeous set. I mean, there's more special features than I could mention.
I didn't know this existed. I need to pick up that damn thing.
Yeah,
that's
Studio
awesome.
Canal.
So it's region 2. It's not. Is it region free or?
Well, it's because it's 4K. Region 4K is a region free, is native region free. So even though there's different companies out there from UK and whatnot putting out releases, 4K is a native region free format, which is fabulous, and very well could save physical media for a few years, quite frankly. I did pick this up. I was watching. He sent me In Search of Tomorrow. Have you seen the In Search of Darkness documentaries?
I've been wanting to. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Well, it's phenomenal. Well, they did a In Search of Tomorrow, which is sci-fi, and they got me. I bought this because it's not my favorite, but I'm gonna give Beyond Thunderdome 4K. I'm gonna give this movie another shot. Mad Max 3. Were
you not a fan of it originally?
The funny thing is, when they played the Tina Turner song, "We Don't Need Another Hero," like I was feeling it, and I was like, God damn, what a track. I thought it was a little too big for its britches. I thought it got a little too over the top, but they explain the context of the movie and the way. It's hard to explain. I can't really do it justice, but they were talking about the landscape of cinema, what was happening with science fiction, and how the popularity really changed the appeal and that kind of thing with these movies, and it gave me a better outlook on it. So I've got Road Warrior on 4K. I've got Mad Max on 4K. So I'm going to give Beyond Thunderdome its due diligence. So good price on that. We don't need another hero.
So, dude, the original trilogy, the Mad Max, where would you rank them? Would you rank Thunderdome as the weakest of the three?
I'll give you my entire Mad Max ranking right now. Worst to best.
Okay.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Really? Okay.
But I'm going to rewatch. I've seen it 3 times in my life. I don't hate it, but Beyond Thunderdome, Fury Road. I like Fury Road. Mad Max, Road Warrior, which I think Road Warrior is in fact the fan favorite.
It's everybody's number one, I think, for sure.
It's good.
So good.
It's damn good. You know? Let's see what the people are saying. That In Search docs are fantastic. Can't wait for In Search of Darkness 3. Yeah, if you need Shudder, man, they're on Shudder. I gotta hook you up. You gotta watch. They're both 4 hours long, parts 1 and 2, and they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Part 2 is great. They go into Italian horror, which was just lovely.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I really wanted to pick it up, but I didn't donate to the original Kickstarter, so I missed out on that first edition, and I kind of fell off of it.
Yeah, they kind of pull those. They don't really make those really easy to own. But let's see what the people are saying. Any thoughts on Bad Moon, 1996 werewolf film classic? Love Bad Moon. Road Warrior, Fury Road, Mad Max, Thunderdome, says Boomstick. Good Mad Max list, CHH, says Don. CHH, what 4K player do you have? When I bought mine online, it said it plays Region B movies, but none of them will play. If you're talking about Region B Blu-rays, you got to understand, it's kind of tricky wording. 4K is a format. 4K UHD movies are region free. Blu-ray is region divided. So a 4K player doesn't mean it's going to play region free Blu-rays, but the way it's kind of worded on the internet, it's deceptive. I don't think it's intentional, but it's deceptive. I have a Sony UBX700, I think, but it doesn't play Blu-rays. I have to have a region free Blu-ray player. The Teen Return song was killer. Born to Be Red. Hey, Garrett, let me know if you're free. Brother. You're more than welcome to hop on. Christian, is the Studio Canal Howling 40th Anniversary Deluxe Edition a good edition to buy? Joe, I'll tell you, I've got the a fan of the Howling, Brandon, 1981.
Yes, I am. I can't believe that fucking movie's 40 years. That's it came out 82. I thought it came out 85 for some fucking reason.
It was 81, the Howling. 81 was the werewolf year. Okay. Where do you put it up against American Werewolf?
Howling is real.
I'm a Howling guy.
Howling is so fucking good, but American Werewolf has got to beat it out for me. So does Silver Bullet. Those are my top 2.
Silver Bullet, Stephen King.
So
good choice.
So good.
Yes, Joe Reese, it is definitely good to buy. I like all the Mad Max films, but Thunderdome is the weakest. They're playing Ice Cream Man tomorrow and Chopping Mall at my local theater. Holy shit!
Yes.
I need to move. What are we talking? Ice Cream Man in the theater? Road Warrior is much better. What's love but a secondhand emotion? Look at Big Croc Rock. Born to Be Red says that Tina Turner song was killer. You damn right it was. Thoughts on Studio 666? I gotta say, I watched Studio 666, the Foo Fighters film. I wanted a little more Pat Smear. I'm a big Pat Smear fan. But the movie was fine. It's worth a watch. I didn't buy it, but I rented it, and that was fine. I like the black phone. It left me with a little bit of that's it feeling at the end. I don't know, Brandon. I don't think you're gonna love it, to be honest with you. I think you might. I don't know. I thought it was good, just good. But I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the black phone.
I've heard rumblings that they're going to try to make a sequel. I kind of spoiled the ending for myself. I don't want to spoil it for anybody in the comments who hasn't seen it, but I'm like, how the fuck do you make a sequel to that?
It made a few bucks. It certainly made a few bucks.
Yeah.
Maybe a prequel, I think, is the way to go for that. Again, not spoiling anything, but
was Hawk actually legitimately creepy? Like, did you believe him as this? What they call him, the grabber? Like, was he believable?
This is. I'll just say this because it seems like the chat has all seen the movie. How's everybody doing? I see some new faces in here. I think that they did two things that I didn't like. I think that they didn't. I thought the film felt disjointed between realism and supernaturalism. And supernaturalism isn't the correct word. When you watch the film, you might get a sense of what I'm saying. And this is a slippery slope to discuss because it makes me sound like people want to try to make me sound like a, or I've seen it on the internet, not me saying it, but people want to make me sound like a sicko. We're talking about kids being abducted.
Mhm.
I didn't feel that sense of dread and sense of unsafety enough in the movie. And it has nothing to do with me wanting to see children punished or in a like, but I just felt like there was it wasn't necessarily Ethan's fault. I thought Ethan was a great actor.
So he didn't have that 1990 Tim Curry Pennywise vibe, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, who does?
Right.
First of all, but I thought the film was still good. It was a gorgeous film. There were some great 70s classic rock songs in there and not typical 70s rock songs. Some good tracks in there. They got the 70s vibe done well. So there was some good stuff.
Yeah, the trailers looked good. Like I wanted to see the film initially too, but nothing really jumped out at me. Like, go see this in the theaters if you can, because like the plot itself seemed interesting. It seemed scary on that visceral, real abduction thing. Like that's uncomfortable for everybody. But when they introduced the supernatural thing in the phone, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But like, I think it would be scarier if there was no supernatural stuff at all. It was just the story of this kid trying to get out of the basement. I think that would have been a better route. But what the fuck do I know?
But Justin Smith says he likes it more than X. X is so overrated. And Justin, I can understand that. I think I'm on the minority on this, to be honest with you, because I think a lot of people liked Black Phone. Again, it'd be interesting to hear Brandon's thoughts on this. Am I getting the Piranha 4K? Brandon, are you aware that Scream Factory is putting out Piranha, the Joe Dante classic?
I am not aware of this. I'm aware now.
Yeah, they're putting out Piranha. Good little Jaws ripoff film, made pretty cheap back in the day, but directed by Joe Dante, produced by a great Roger Corman. Piranha 2, The Spawning is one of my favorites, directed by James Cameron.
They just re-released that, didn't they? Piranha 2?
Not as far as I'm aware. There is a Blu-ray maybe a few years ago that came out. What do you think about The Hills Run Red? Just recently bought it. Thought it looked. It's a decent little film, horror business. Little 2000s slasher. Little blockbuster rental type movie. Not bad. I agree with Dave on that, but I don't want to pull his comment up just in case nobody has seen the movie. But I agree, Dave, 100%. I got a few more movies here. Again, shout out. These are all from Kyle. Great guy, great friend. So you're an obvious. We got Italian horror movie fans in the chat. You're an Italian horror movie fan, Brandon. Can you name your top 3 Dario Argento films? Maybe you'll guess the movie I have right here.
Top 3,
and as well as everybody else in the chat, I'd love to hear your top 3 Dario Argento films. Don't cheat. Don't be Googling.
Well, top 3. Opera's gonna have to be one.
Opera? I mean Oprah.
By the way, actually, on that note, I need to show you something real quick. Hold on a second.
Cheers, everybody. I've got mini Coke Zeros tonight. These are minis. Anybody drink these? Uh-oh, Brandon's got something. Suspiria, says Keegan.
So, a couple months ago, I made a video on Opera at the old Videoland VHS store I told you guys about. I kept saying that there was this version of that movie there that I rented as a kid, and it was nothing like the VHS tapes I saw on eBay. When I was online a couple months ago, I finally found this copy, and I'm like, that's the fucking version that they had at my store, and I found it. It's almost mint condition. I was like, it's called Terror at the Opera. That's why it was throwing me for a fucking loop.
Look at that.
And it's fucking, I mean, it's look at that shit. There's no of the white mold on there or nothing. It's pristine.
Look at that.
So yeah.
That's cool.
I had to just go off about that. Sorry about that.
Deep Discount is selling a DVD of Paranormal Activity Next to Kin. Did they release it separately on DVD but no Blu-ray? This is the first I'm hearing about this, Ben. As far as I knew, Next of Kin was only going to be available in the Paranormal box set coming out. Coke Zero is good. I told the people while you walked away, I'm on a Coke Zero. I got mini Coke Zeros tonight. Fan of these, Brandon? Coke Zeros?
They have kind of a weird cardboardy taste, don't they? A little bit. I mean, they're good. They're
Well,
good.
did you try the new rebranded Coke Zero, or did
No,
the last time you had one was the black can version?
the black can, I think. Why? What do they taste like?
They
Are they
taste like Coke, a regular
really?
Coca-Cola. The closest I've ever seen a diet drink. Now, granted, most people know me as a Pepsi guy, and I am. Don't get me wrong. I've got Pepsi Zeros in the fridge, but my wife bought me some of these minis, and I like them. They're good. They're much better than the old Coke Zeros.
Mm,
But we'll talk about Get Out, Jonathan. But let's see what people are saying. Suspiria, Deep Red Tenebrae, Deep Red Inferno, Tenebrae,
Suspiria,
Tenebrae, Suspiria,
Tenebrae.
Phenomena, Tenebrae, Inferno. Ha! Took the
Inferno is
sitcom.
so underrated. Okay.
Inferno
It's
is good. Pepsi Zero is much better. That's what I have in the fridge, Saturn. But anyway, here is the 4K that I have of another Dario film. I said I wasn't buying this, but my friend Kyle, God bless him, he said you gotta have this. Just it's gorgeous. He got me the Arrow version, not the Synapse, but the Arrow version of Phenomena
wow, look at that
on
shit.
4K. Now again, this will play on your player because it's 4K. But look at this. I mean, that's something else right there.
That's amazing.
The Arrow always does a good job. They're a class company.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to beat Arrow Video. I mean, what I like about Arrow is if you don't want this, just wait a couple months, then you can just buy their regular release. You know, they're a great company. But he said you gotta. I got Tenebrae. I got that on 4K because I love Tenebrae. And he goes, I said I was gonna get Phenomena, but I think I'm gonna get Tenebrae. And he goes, oh, you gotta have Phenomena, which I like this movie. I like the cut that's called Creepers, which is the American cut, which is a little. I think it's a little shorter, you know. But Donald Pleasance is in Phenomena, you know.
That Creepers VHS tape, that image is burned into my brain forever.
The girl with the
chick's
hand.
face. Yeah. I swear to God, the VHS tape, her face came apart and turned into insects. But I saw re-release posters and her face is like fully intact. I'm like, that's not how the fucking poster looked. I don't think.
Alexis says it looks amazing. Arrowhead better put Inferno on 4K probably soon.
It was good.
I want that Arrow release. The Arrow release is nice. Does the Phenomena 4K contain the Creepers cut? It contains the Italian version on disc 1. And on disc 2, we've got international and Creepers version. So I think we have all cuts on this. So God bless Kyle. Thank you for that. Very, very nice. But we got a few more. But let's take a break. Somebody asked us about Jordan Peele. Jonathan says, any thoughts on Nope? I don't recall ever talking Jordan Peele with you before, Brandon.
I haven't seen any of his films yet, man. I am so behind on everybody, but Jordan Peele's films, I haven't seen. I've heard nothing but good things about Nope and Get Out and all that stuff, but I just haven't seen it yet. I'm kind of intrigued by Nope. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've seen Candyman, but that doesn't really count as a Jordan Peele film. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was nervous, not in the sense of liking or disliking Candyman. That's neither here or there, but I was nervous that he was gonna pull this Clive Barker thing, where Clive Barker, he directed 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
He did Hellraiser, he did Nightbreed, and he did it's from 95, Lord of Illusions.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wrote and produced everything else. God bless him for that. But I want to see Jordan Peele direct and stay a director. So when he did 2 movies and now he's the producer of Candyman, I was like, oh, now he's going to be too good to direct movies. He's just going to start producing. His name is just going to be put on stuff to promote it, right? Well, luckily that didn't happen, and now he did Nope, which I thought was fine. I like Nope fairly all right. I didn't like his other 2 movies as much when I first saw them. Actually, I take that back. I liked Us a little bit more than Get Out, but then I ended up watching Get Out again. And I actually think there's a little something there with Get Out more so than Us. So I would check out Get Out. I think that was his debut.
Yeah, I need to catch up on his stuff because I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard split reactions on Nope, but nothing but good things about Us and Get Out.
Yeah. So. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Malignant? Have you seen Malignant?
I have. It was weird too because I checked it out late. And
big fan?
It was pretty good. It was all right. It wasn't as good as I like. Everybody kind of played it up for me. Everybody was saying it was this like giallo film, and I was watching it. I'm like, this isn't really a giallo film at all. Like it's
Well, that word gets thrown around
it does.
incorrectly.
It
I think
does.
what they meant. I think what they meant was it had Italian color palettes to it. There's a lot of bright orange, not orange, excuse me. There's purples and lighting.
Right.
I think they were referencing it. It looked like some old school Dario movie or something like that. That's what they meant. But the giallo term is just, it's used in a lot of instances, and I'm guilty of that myself. But that's what they meant. I think if I could put a little context to that. But no, it's not. It's obviously not a giallo film. It's like a fucking monster movie almost.
It was good. It was pretty good. It was better than I expected, but it wasn't giallo. But that opening theme song, man, I have a bald head, but I almost wanted to headbang to it. That shit was so
it's good.
heavy. It was good.
Well, it was nice to see James Wan do what he felt like doing, you know, and he had to direct some big movies and get some street cred. I think he did that Aqua movie, Aquaman. And that movie made so much money. They said, just go have some fun and do what you want. And look, he made a good film out of it. I mean, they let him do what he wanted to do. That's the kind of film that can only happen with no studio interference. You know, so I thought it was great. It's probably in my top 5 of his films because I've watched it a couple times. I actually think it's brilliant. You know, I'm a big fan.
Didn't Wan direct one of the Fast and the Furious movies a couple of years ago?
I wouldn't doubt it. I think he's done a lot of stuff. He's
really come full circle, man. Like props to him.
Yeah.
Props to him.
I did see that, Alexis. So let's talk about this for a second. Are you aware of the Sean Cunningham cameo thing that's been talked about for last week?
About the Friday the 13th resurgence next year or something like that?
Yeah. Long story short, you know, for those watching that maybe not be aware, I did a little video. I did a video on this calculated. I wanted to talk about this the other day because I'll tell you what I thought the case was, and I still could be right. It's speculation. So somebody was checking Sean Cunningham's cameo and saw that it had been updated within the last couple of days where it said creator of Friday the 13th, this legendary movie he directed spawned 12 sequels with a 13th following next year. And somebody caught that. And there's this thing called the Wayback Machine where I think you can look at archive dates of websites. And so they saw that this had just happened.
Right.
This edit. So people are saying, is this happening? So I did a video on it too, because I wanted to talk about it, number one. But number two, I thought that this might have been a conscious, purposeful thing. I think this might have been something that somebody on the behind the scenes was like, let's just do something very, very minute to see if we're going to get some traction.
Plant the seeds.
Let's see what people are going to, how the reaction is going to be about this.
Right. It could be.
Obviously, everybody in there, everybody was talking about it. It took over social media.
Yeah, my feed was full of people talking. It was full.
About it. Well, guess what happened today on that cameo page? It's gone.
No way.
It's gone.
Oh shit.
I think there's something there.
He said something next. He said 2023, right? That's the date he gave in the post.
That's what the cameo said.
That's weird, man. I would say, yeah, that's probably the right direction. He's probably planting the seed to see like where the fan base is, if there's people out there championing it. I mean, come on. Texas Chainsaw 2022 just took over Netflix, right? Halloween Kills took over Peacock last year. Like there's definitely a fucking hungry audience for a new Friday movie, even if it goes straight to streaming.
Oh yeah.
But that seems awfully quick though. I mean, it's August. So unless they already have a fucking script ready and they're like in pre-production actively, I don't see how they would get it out by next year.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how well they're keeping this under wraps. There is a lot of legality involved. You know, I'm sure there very well could be 100+ people that have signed NDAs on this. Who knows? Yeah. Or maybe it's all bullshit.
It could be bullshit. I mean,
who's editing this cameo page? Who's in charge of it? It's not Sean.
Exactly.
I don't
Well,
know.
hopefully he should come out and make a statement about it soon, one way or the other, and then we can judge his temperature based on that.
I don't think that's his style, though, right? Sean doesn't really talk to the public a
You
lot.
got, how old is he now? Like 80? He's got to be in his fucking 80s now, right?
I think he's
pretty
80, but
old as shit.
he's great. He's healthy. He looks good. Him and Victor. I saw an interview with Victor from last year. He's like a vegan. He's one of those guys. So
Right.
he'll probably outlive all of us. Who knows?
Well, I know McLaughlin had written that new Jason script like a year or two ago, and he's been like trying to campaign it to studios, I think, from what I've been following him on. So I wonder if
And
he has
God
any
bless.
involvement.
I don't know. I interviewed him right before COVID started, and God bless him. He's a sweetheart. I think he's gripping for straws that may not be there.
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna do another one, they're just gonna. I think what they're gonna do. There's a lot of talks about Ginny, Amy Steele, coming back because that would be in line with what the market's doing with these slashers.
The recall, yeah.
That's what I've been hearing, like from a number of people. Like she's been reached out to and all that. Because everybody knows somebody that knows somebody. But I've heard it from different people. So
that's weird though. So if they're reaching out to her, does that mean it would be a direct sequel to 2? Would there be no hockey mask?
You see,
or would it just be after part 4 and she just comes back or something like that? Like that's a very interesting. The Friday franchise would be a very interesting playground for a requel. Like which sequel would you play off of?
And to me, people ask me, do you want Christian? Are you excited if they ever do Nightmare on Elm Street? I'm always like, yeah, but you know what? There's a lot. It's not. It has nothing to do with me being a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. It has to do with. It has to do with the hurdles you got to cross to do a Nightmare on Elm Street because it's just not the same animal. But Friday, I feel like if you do X, Y, and Z, you've got your film.
Yep.
For better or for worse, you've got your film. If you do X, Y, Z, setting, style, and etc., you've got your movie.
And it's the cheapest content out of any of the franchises to choose from. You could make a Friday movie for $100,000 and have it be a $10 million success.
You can do it.
You could do it.
Looking forward to Friday. Well, if it happens, we'll see.
I hope so. That would be cool.
Removing it makes it sort of. I think it is suspect. It's just, I don't know. I mean, why take it down? Somebody, word obviously got back. They probably saw all the traffic going to his Cameo page. I don't know who's getting cameos from Sean Cunningham. Probably not a lot of people.
The question is, and this might piss off some people. I'm not really sure. Do people really want Cunningham championing the Friday the 13th franchise? I'm kind of iffy on that, just because I know he doesn't really like the hockey mask era. You know what I mean?
You know what? You're right, but I think he's turned over a new leaf because
he knows it makes money.
He knows basically. It makes money. Right. So on that, I don't know if you've watched the special features on your Friday the 13th deluxe box set. The Jason X Blu-ray has a gorgeous making of, and at the end of it, Sean talks about wanting to do the next Friday the 13th, and he says this. I'm paraphrasing, but Sean says this. He says, I've been doing this Friday thing. I've been involved for a long time. I've made mistakes. I know the people want Jason the way they know him, the way they love him. They want that hockey mask. They want that forest. They want the camp. I know what they want. I want to do it. Mm-hmm. So I think the fans do want Sean. I mean, he created it, Right. I like Sean. I think Sean's a brilliant guy. I think he's a great director too, which he doesn't get enough credit. When you look at the first Friday, looking back at it now, I think it's brilliant. I think it's timed beautifully. It's very creepy. I also think Deep Star 6 is a magnificent monster movie he made. I prefer it to Leviathan, which are the 289 underwater monster films. So I think he can do it. I think he's a great producer, you know? So, but I don't think Victor's an evil guy either. It's just he's playing the game he's playing the legal game. I mean, wouldn't you do the same thing?
I would, and he took a lot of flack from a lot of the fan base, I think.
It's just passion too. I get it.
It wasn't deserved. I mean, if he felt he was getting ripped off of what he deserved or he felt he deserved, then he should go after it.
Absolutely. But it's just that we have to suffer. So
Right.
that's where the anger comes from.
Right.
Let's see what the people are saying. Deep Star 6 and New Kids were good. New Kids was good. That had the girl from the aunt from Full House. As long as the movies are fun, I don't care if Sean is in charge. Look what they did with Never Hike movies. That was small budget. It could be done well and cheap. Never Hike alone was just so good. Goddamn. What if it was just a publicity stunt for people to go to his cameo? That's, I don't want you to say that because it makes sense. CHH, any other franchises you would like to see a requel to? I would love to see a direct sequel to Phantasm 2. Well, Brandon, I noticed your thumbnail right there too, which is Brandon Houston, not Brandon Tabato. But yeah, your thumbnail is Phantasm in there. So I love Phantasm 2. I'd be happy with that. I think a requel is pointless for Friday because continuity was never strong just to put in the 80s and let the fans pick a timeline point.
It was strong in the first 6 films. I have to disagree with that. Continuity. For 6, it was strong.
It's a jagged straight line, but it's a straight line nonetheless, right?
Right. 7, 8, 9, it gets into really weird cartoony what the hell's happening stuff. But there was a pretty good timeline.
What if they introduced the dad finally? What was his name?
Elias.
Was it Jedediah or Elias? Something like they had a weird first name. Somebody tell me what the name was of damn it. What's Father Voorhees' name? Damn it.
$5 on Elias.
You may be right.
Elias, Justin Smith. I think they used him in there was a new fan film where McLaughlin and CJ Graham are in, and I think Elias is a character in it. I forgot what it's called though. Is it called Vengeance? I think that might be what it's called.
I think so. There's a lot of Friday the 13th fan films.
Really good ones too, man. Really good ones.
They're great. Let's see. Yeah, Elias, you're right. I hope Ari Lehman plays Jason. Well, he's big enough now, relatively. Aunt Becky, that's right. She was in the New Kids. Deep Star 6, the New Kids were good. So I've got a few more movies. I'm glad he got me this. I didn't own it on Blu-ray. Most people are probably not big fans of this film. I actually think it's kind of fun. This is the Indicator Blu-ray. John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen this one?
Not since it came out. Not since, what was that, 2002? 2003?
One. You're close. One.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Ice-T is in here. It's fine. I'm actually surprised that Scream Factory hasn't just gone ahead and put this movie out. I think it's going to happen. Ghost of Mars.
I'm really surprised that the cult following that movie's built up to recently, Ghost of Mars. Because I remember everybody hated that fucking movie when it first came out.
Oh, it's John Carpenter. I mean, yeah. I think people. I've been guilty of just saying something's bad without seeing it. I mean, I think that could be the case sometimes. And this movie could have been a victim of that. Granted, though, it's not great. I'm not saying it's great. I mean, you got to look at the context of it. This was the end of John's. This was the end of John's main run. I think he came back with a movie years later. He did, I believe it was called The Ward, which I own that, which was fine. But the funny thing is, that's the only movie I've ever seen that didn't feel like a John Carpenter film. I watched it without knowing it was John Carpenter. Then I learned it was John Carpenter, and I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that was John Carpenter. This feels like a John Carpenter film, though, Ghost of Mars.
I watched Vampires a couple weekends ago for the first time in a couple decades, I think. I forgot how good it was, man. It was so good.
James Woods.
Yeah, that movie fucking drips atmosphere, man. James Wood just kicks all kinds of ass.
It's like a sleek Western.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the girl from Twin Peaks in there. Lovely movie. I love it so much. So good. I'm a big vampire. I think that's the last great John Carpenter film. I think a lot of people would say In the Mouth of Madness, but I'm a vampires guy. Just love vampires. I never did see Tommy Lee Wallace did a sequel. He did Vampires 2 Los Muertos.
I remember seeing that on DVD on shelves and stuff, and I never picked it up.
Yeah, I gotta grab that. I love Tommy. I don't know if that did Ben. That'd be funny since he made it. Don't like it too much, but it's alright as a dumb fun B movie.
I got a couple ones up here actually.
Go ahead. I remember when I was a kid, the trailer for Ghost of Mars had the D12 song fight music in it. And I waited the whole movie for it. It was never in there. Oh, you're 100% right, Saturn. I'm shocked that they haven't done a collector's edition, but luckily I'm good. I've got the indicator blue with that cool artwork. Assault on Precinct. It's Assault on Mars.
So, Christian, you probably have these, but I picked these up like a month or two ago. I haven't opened them yet, but I'm so stoked to own these versions.
Oh, Zombie. It says Zombie 3.
Yeah.
You got 4.
I do. There it is.
Claudia Fragasso.
88 Films, man. You recommended that site to me, man. That they have some kick-ass content on there for cheap.
Oh, they're great.
That stuff is compared to Screen Factory sometimes.
They're so good. I love them. I've got one left. So on the documentary, I haven't seen this, but the irony is I listen to the soundtrack all the time on Spotify. So I was watching In Search of Tomorrow, and it's fantastic. You need to see it. They go over so many great science fiction movies. They actually make me want to watch those Star Trek movies. They actually look pretty good. Wrath of Khan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that. It looks good. It actually looks really good. I watched the trailer for it, and I watched some clips, and it almost looks like I would like it as much, if not more, than Star Wars. I don't know. I gotta watch. I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but I don't know. They look like good movies. But anyway,
have you never seen those Star Trek movies?
I've never seen them. I used to watch Next
They're
Generation.
really hit and miss. They're really hit and miss, man.
Well, here's the thing that I'll mention. So they were talking about the first Star Trek movie. It wasn't very well received. I think it did okay money wise, but the critics hated it. The fans said it was boring. But Paramount was determined to make the movies a success. So they made Wrath of Khan against all odds. And then it got such good reviews, and then the crowd loved it, and the word of mouth actually built the box office up for the movie. And it just looks really good.
I think you'll love Wrath of Khan. It's a fucking fantastic movie. But I'm gonna say something taboo, and everybody, I'm not a huge Star Trek guy at all. I just casually watch the movies. I'm not really a fan of the TV shows, any of them. But the Next Generation era of the films, the movie called First Contact is so good.
First Contact.
It is so good. That's probably taboo. I think it's better than Wrath of Khan, but that's just me. Just putting that out there. Just planting that seed.
God damn. But anyway, yes, I'm going to check that out. But anyway, hello to every 102 people in here. Please drop a like on here and drop your comments. The last movie I have right here, I'm actually very excited. Like I said, I listen to the soundtrack to this all the time on Spotify. I'm sure you've seen this growing up. 4K of Heavy Metal.
Oh my God, yes. I need to buy that fucking movie.
I'm sure this is going to be gorgeous on 4K, but I'm a big fan of the soundtrack. And they showed this in there, and I was like, this is like an adult thing.
I forgot that movie came out on 4K. I need to fucking own that movie right now.
It's rated R.
Have you never seen Heavy Metal?
I've never seen it.
You got to do a live watch or something. It's going to blow your fucking mind.
Well, it's rated R. I didn't know that. I saw it at Best Buy like a year ago on Blu-ray, and I was like, the music's fine. And then I thought it was a kid's movie. But it's rated. Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
It's rated R. What's going on here?
Have you ever seen Heavy Metal's older than these, I think. Well, no, Fritz the Cat's 70s, right? Have you seen Fritz the Cat?
No.
I think it's 70s or 80s. Same kind of art style. Sort of like the 90s. Do you remember the Max on MTV?
Yes, I remember
that same kind of animation. It's so good though. Heavy Metal is fucking phenomenal, man.
When he told me, I was talking to Kyle when I was watching the documentary of In Search of Tomorrow. I was like, dude, I'm so psyched on all these sci-fi movies. There's so many greats I need to revisit. I told him, I said, dude, this Heavy Metal, I didn't realize it was like an adult film. And he's like, I gotta get it for you. So I'm look at that art too. It's gorgeous.
So, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a voice in the second segment. Yeah. He plays the main character. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but as soon as you figure it out, text me because it's fucking hilarious once you figure out who the actor is.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Very excited. So I'm going to watch that soon, but let's see what we got. How you doing, Alex Thomas? All the Next Generation movies are solid. Love the Max. First Contact is my personal favorite. Somebody said that it's the rule of evens with the Star Trek movies. The even numbered movies are good. Here it is. He says, Wonder This World 97. With Star Trek, it's the rule of the evens. The even number movies are the best, 2, 4, and 6. Now, remind me, what are the names of 2, 4, and 6? 2 is obviously Wrath of Khan.
Yeah. 4 is 4 Undiscovered Country? Let me look this up real quick. I need to cheat a little bit.
Let's bring back the Star Trek. I know I haven't seen them, Brandon, but let's bring these movies back. Everybody's a Star Wars fan now. What's wrong with Star Trek?
4 is The Voyage Home. Excuse me. Undiscovered Country is 6. That was pretty good.
So that's what he says. He's saying 2, 4, and 6 are the best ones.
Yeah, because Search for Spock, which was 3, was really fucking. It was a snooze fest, man. It was boring. And Final Frontier. No, Final Frontier wasn't that bad. It was okay.
Is that 5? Is that when they go to San Francisco?
I think so. I think it's that. It's a really weird fucking movie.
It looks fun. It looked funny though. Like when they were showing the clips of it, looked funny. But I'm guessing
you should watch them all.
I don't want to. But that's the problem. I don't want to watch the first one. I'm scared I'm just gonna hate it, and I'm not gonna want to watch anymore. Which is probably what happened with everybody, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
When did you see these movies? Were you a kid? You saw these Star Trek movies?
Now, it took me a while. Like I didn't see Nemesis or Insurrections until the mid 2000s, and then I saw the 2009 reboot in theaters. I saw Into Darkness in theaters, but I haven't seen Beyond yet.
Ah, okay.
I think that's up to speed now. Like there hasn't been another one. I don't think. I haven't seen any of the fucking TV shows either.
I used to watch Next Generation as a kid. I think it's from the 90s, right? The TV show.
I think late 80s through the 90s. I think.
Okay, it was reruns, obviously. Have you seen Deathgasm? Have you seen that? It's a heavy metal movie, and like, oh, it's so good. It's like this love story, heavy metal zombie movie. It's really, really good. Let's see what we got. First Contact is considered one of the best films in the series.
It's so good.
You got a fan in here, Leon. He said Tabata Vision is the man.
Leon's the man.
By the 4K Steelbook, it has a sequel. What is there a Heavy Metal 2 or is there a
Heavy Metal 2000? It was not as good at all. It's
Heavy Metal 3000.
Excuse me, Ben Grimm. It's 2000. Thank you very much.
Huh.
Let me look that up real quick to make sure.
Hey, fellas, what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a lot of stuff tonight. We were just talking about the Star Trek films because I was watching In Search of Tomorrow. I'm telling you, Bram, when you watch these documentaries, they get you hooked on these movies. Even if the ones you haven't seen them, they get you so pumped up to watch them. It's amazing. They're great. These In Search of people. In Search of Darkness 3 is coming out soon, and I'm chomping at the bit. They also just put out In Search of the Last Action Heroes. I think Garrett, Born to Be Red, got the Blu-ray for it. I mean, it's going to be nothing but 80s action films.
That's awesome.
Oh, my God. I got to see that. I remember watching one with Catherine Hicks where they are saving whales in California. I like what I saw. Okay. All right, we don't have to talk about Star Trek all night. Although it looks like we got a lot of Star Trek fans tonight.
Yep.
It's time for an ice cold one with Christian Hannah Horror.
Oh, Nick's laughing at us for some reason.
Why's Nick laughing?
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm excited to watch Heavy Metal. Gonna watch that tomorrow probably.
It's gonna blow your mind.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. The soundtrack is amazing. I mean, all the bands, right? Blue Oyster Cult, Sammy Hagar, Nazareth, Railroad, Grand Funk.
All of You is so good. That's the best song on that soundtrack.
Oh, I just saw some names of the voice actors. Son of a bitch. I'm spoiling it. I'm spoiling myself. Yeah. I just saw today that apparently they're doing Beverly Hills Cop 5. But
Finally, man.
I keep hearing that. I've been hearing about that for years, though. You know,
10 years ago they announced part 4, and then 5 years ago they announced the TV show, and they recorded the pilot, and the pilot got nixed because they wanted to do an actual movie, and then here we are another 5 years later, and it's greenlit again. It's never going to come out.
Yeah, I meant 4. Did I say 5? I meant 4.
Murphy's going to die before that. We're lucky we got Coming to America.
We are. Yeah, 4, not 5. I'm sorry, guys. What else did I see today? I can't remember. I read something today that was of interest, but I've slept since then, or I've napped since then. Just what's on your mind? You got anything else on your mind?
Yeah, speaking of Beverly Hills Cop 4, if I get Beverly Hills Cop 4 and we get Lethal Weapon 5, I can.
Oh, that's what it was. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I'm so stoked that Mel Gibson's going to be directing. Because
Okay, you
yeah,
saw that clip
I
on
did.
YouTube?
I did.
I'm so sad, Richard. Did you realize how good Richard Donner was before he passed away?
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like an idiot.
yeah. He
He's one of the
Lost
most
Boys. They did. Yeah.
he's one of the most versatile directors. I mean, Richard Donner did Maverick,
Hmm.
he did Lethal Weapon,
The
and he
good
did
Superman movies. Yeah,
then
all
he
that
did
stuff.
then he did The Omen.
Right.
Richard Donner.
Right.
Have you
Did
ever
he
heard of
film?
have you ever heard of a more versatile director than Richard Donner?
He had a really cool no bullshit attitude in all of his behind the scenes stuff, which I fucking dug. So,
Oh, he was so good. He was so good.
damn, he was 91 when he passed away this year or last year. That's crazy.
It made me really sad because I saw this clip where Mel Gibson was doing like a session with an audience, right?
Hmm.
And the woman asks him, "Lethal Weapon 5, what are we doing?" And he started to break down a little bit. He said, "The director had a conversation with me, and he said, you know, when I kick the bucket, you're going to direct this next movie." And he says, "I'm going to keep my promise." Like he said he didn't answer him because he didn't want to accept the fact that he was going to lose Richard anytime soon, but he said he's going to direct it.
Hmm.
And he said that too old for this shit. Danny Glover, is this his name?
Hmm.
He's got to be old too.
Yeah.
But
Lethal Weapon 4 in 98, I think it came out. It was a pretty cheesy movie, but it's the weird fourth entry there where every single movie in the series, 1 through 4, every movie is a 10 for me.
how
I
good
hope.
was that? How good was that opening with the guy with the fire in the
Oh,
town?
dude, so good.
Oh my god!
So good.
People keep asking about this Killer Clowns game. Did you see that?
I did. Whatever. I don't really get excited about these video games.
What about Texas Chainsaw
I'm,
Massacre?
I'm kind of excited about that.
I
I'm intrigued by that.
I know you know Nick was playing that Evil Dead game, and I wanted to play with him, but I was telling him the other day I was like, you know, my Xbox, it's on its last leg.
Mhm.
The disk drive doesn't work anymore, and it destroyed a Blu-ray. I mean, I pulled it out; it looked like something. It scratched the hell out of it. Luckily, it wasn't a movie of merit. I don't know why I would what I had. It was like a movie. I just like a throwaway movie I was putting in when I was going to clean the house. Right? Thank
Right.
God.
Yeah. Right.
So I put the Blu-ray in my Xbox, and it sounds like a grinder is going on inside of the damn thing.
That's not
I
good.
finally get the disc out, and it's ruined. And I
You
read
might be, like,
into it.
at the wrong speed or something, and
Something I don't know, but I read into it, and I basically was told, "Hey, you're SOL on that." I mean, and it's expensive to fix, and it's slowing down. So I was telling Nick, I was like, you know, I'm gonna get a PlayStation 4,
right.
not a 5, because they're too expensive, and none of my friends even own one yet, and they're gonna put Texas Chainsaw on the older systems, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One,
Yeah.
and so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get Evil Dead the game. And he said you don't even have to. I didn't know this. He said you don't even have to have the same systems anymore. You can play the game with a PlayStation kid can play with an Xbox kid. This must be like a new thing.
That's cool. Yeah, I still got the one in my house. It plays 4K. All my 4K discs, I've never had a problem with any of them on it.
You must have the special. Like you don't have a base model. Then you got to have like a nicer Xbox if it plays 4K.
Mine's the white one, and I got it in like 2017. So it's 5 years old now, but it's still kicking, man. It does a good job. But I don't fucking play video games anymore. It's mostly just a media station. You know what I mean? It's become that. Movies and Netflix, basically. So
I really enjoyed Lethal Weapon 4. Jet Li was awesome in it. Yeah, so was Chris Rock. Was good in Lethal Weapon 4.
Butters.
I gotta say though, I think the best Lethal Weapon's 2.
2 is so good.
My favorite part of that movie, because of the dialogue, is so bad in a good way. When he shoot right before he shoots the fish tank,
Mhm.
he tells that guy something to the effect, and this is disturbing to say, but it's just so funny when Mel Gibson's got the gun pointed at that shitty diet, like that shitty sounding South African guy. He goes, "I'm gonna come back here, and if you mess with me, I'm gonna fuck your ass." And then he shoots the fish tank, that like $5,000 fish tank.
Yeah.
Two is so good. 2 is too good.
See, I say that part 2 is the best, and then I watch 3 again, and I'm like, damn, 3 might be the best because 3 is really fucking good. I feel like it's.
You know what? That's my least. I'm not discrediting it. That's my least favorite one.
I think it's like the most. It's everybody's least favorite for some reason, and I probably agree until I watch it again. And I'm like, this is so good.
I think they're all good. I think 4 just has like a little bit of awareness of like, hey, this is the 4th one.
Yeah.
There's a funny ass shark scene where Pesci's swimming away from a shark. I just think it doesn't take itself too seriously. Whereas 3, I thought it was. I mean, the highs of 2. I mean, some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen, comedy, whatever, is when the condom commercials playing and Danny Glover is like, "Trish, send the kids upstairs." Like his timing. Danny Glover is so funny. It's not. He knows timing so well.
Oh, those movies are underrated. Those movies are fucking hysterical when they want to be. That's that weird era of action movies, man. Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, and 4. They were so funny, yet they were so serious. Like people were getting fucked up in those movies. That movie wasn't messing around. None of them were. People were dying. Shit was blowing up. Like those movies were hardcore, but they were funny, and they were rare because as action-packed and hardcore as they were also wholesome in ways that modern action movies are not. If that makes any sense, there's like a wholesome quality to those movies that we don't have anymore, and that fucking sucks. So,
have you seen Lords of Chaos? Have you seen that movie? Oh, that's a good movie. It's not Macaulay. It's one of the brothers.
It's Corey Culkin, right? Or Rory Culkin or something?
Rory.
Scream 4 kid, right?
Yeah, I think Lords of Chaos is probably the best movie I've ever seen him in. He's it's like a death metal movie, and he runs like a record store, and then he starts a band, and I don't want to spoil it. It's
a true story, right?
I think it is. It certainly seems like it could have been. It's just really good. Yeah, you need to watch that. It's really good.
I've heard good things about it.
People are saying their Xbox bit the dust too. Huh. I am gonna get a PS4. I'm just over it. We got another super chat from Cody. Thank you so much. He says, damn, now I want to rewatch the Beverly Hills Cop movies and Lethal Weapon movies. I agree with what Brandon is saying about action movies back then. They're just so good. I mean,
don't watch Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Stay
away from it.
There's so many great action films from the 80s that, I mean, when you think about the buddy cop genre too, I mean, Lethal Weapon is obviously the king of the mountain, but then you got like Tango and Cash, Stallone and Kurt Russell. I mean, that's like an unlikely duo, but they work so well together. And I always liked how Stallone played kind of against type at the time. He was the classy, well-dressed guy, and Russell, not that Russell was the prim and proper one, but you could have seen it going the opposite way there.
Yep.
But I love Tango and Cash. Great cast in that movie too, with Robert Starr in there and Clint Howard. Thank you so much, Cody, for the super chat. Appreciate it. We got Tom Arnold in the chat. How's Roseanne doing? Oh, y'all got divorced. True Lies is the greatest action movie of all time. I would say it's one of the greatest from the 90s. Damn right.
Where's the 4K release of that fucking movie? Where's that shit?
You know, that's like a sore subject for so many people because they want it. The word is James Cameron literally just has to approve the new transfer that's already been done on it to release it. I don't know obviously now we know what the holdup is. He's making these damn Smurf movies right now.
Yeah, he's making Avatar 2 through 700, and he should be making True Lies 2. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis already showed interest, I believe. Arnold Schwarzenegger showed interest. He should just make it. True Lies 2.
Well, what would you call the movie now since the cat's out of the bag? They know what each other are doing now, right?
Truth.
Such a good movie, though. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Bad boy.
Lethal Weapon over Die Hard, says Ice Ice Cody. You know what? Now that's a series where I think the third one's the best one. Die Hard 3 is my favorite.
Would have
Die
been
Hard,
the best one. It
so
is.
good.
It is.
Dead Heat, yeah, Dead Heat's good. That's a horror buddy cop movie, late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching Beverly Hills Cop 3 to see the Cobra poster. Yeah, we were just talking about that in M85. We were just talking about that. Let's see. The Blu-ray of True Lies has been ready for approval since 2018. Jesus Christ. Avatar sucks. What is James thinking? I think he's trying to make money, which I guess he's doing. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand it. It's not like James Cameron to do a bunch of sequels. It's not his style. You know?
Mm-hmm.
He's done sequels to movies he didn't direct the first ones before, like Aliens and obviously Terminator 2. And
I was really hoping when he got the rights back to Terminator, he would make the wrong things right, and that just didn't happen, as we all know.
You weren't a fan of what was the name of that one? Terminator, not
Dark
Genesis.
Fate. No,
Dark Fate.
I've only seen 3/4 of it, and I was just like, it's not into it at all.
I thought it was better than the one before it, Genesis. I thought that was abysmal, man.
This was weird. I liked that movie the first time I saw it, and then I fucking hated it every time after.
You know. I really think the problem is it's just I think Terminator 2 put a bow on that story so well.
Mm.
Why? What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, what you're going to undo the quality of that movie just by making another movie. So
they completely unwound everything done in Terminator 2 with 4 words in Terminator 3. Judgment Day is inevitable.
Right.
I mean, those 4 words completely broke down that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh God, it breaks my heart. And I don't think if Furlong was okay and he could have been in that movie, it would have fixed it. I just think you don't do another. You don't. What are we talking about here? Terminator 2. I mean, it's probably one of the greatest movies ever made.
Mm.
I mean, it's everything. It's horror, it's action, it's adventure, it's comedy, it's drama, it's everything. You know, I think that's his best movie, James Cameron.
Terminator 2? Oh man. I'm gonna have to go with Aliens on that.
Aliens?
Aliens and T2 are juggernauts, but Aliens is a little bit higher than T2 for me. So
do you like Aliens more than Alien?
Absolutely.
What about the chat? What do you guys say? Alien or Aliens?
Aliens.
I think it depends on the day for me.
Yeah.
Aliens is there's some great special effects. I mean, that's one of the greatest special effects films ever.
It is.
I like those big contraption things that Sigourney gets in, them yellow, almost like McWarrior.
Right.
Remember those games, McWarrior?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's good stuff. The young girl from Alien, she's in Search of Tomorrow. I gotta get you to see this documentary.
I gotta see it.
And she was talking about the making of the movie and how she just talked about how amazing Sigourney was in that movie.
Were you a fan of Alien 3?
Oh, I love Alien 3.
Yeah, that movie gets so much hate still, and I'm like, people just don't. They're never gonna get it. That movie is so dark, so depressing, such a slow draw. Both cuts, man. I love both cuts of that fucking movie.
Yeah. How you doing, Pizzo? The mighty Pizzo. Good to see you, Piz. What you up to tonight? You know,
Alien 3 sucks.
Well, I like Alien 3, but you know, it's I feel a little hypocritical because I get it. Like we were just talking about Terminator 3 disavowing, and it's the same thing.
It is.
But I mean, Alien 3 is just like one of the greatest dramas, dreadful movies. I mean, it's
depressing. It is depressing, but
it really is. It's
fantastic
like
fucking movie. Alien 3 is shit. Wow, people do not like this fucking movie.
Yeah. I get it though. I really do get it.
Alien 1 and 2 would have been a great package deal if we're being honest.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Predator. Have you seen Prey, the new
I
Predator
watched
movie?
half of it and then I fell asleep, but I liked what I saw so far.
I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was. Here's the thing. I want your thoughts on this, and Piz had talked about this on the last Region Free episode. When it comes to Predator, I think what gets lost, people always talk about how great the first movie is, right? I think 99% of people all say that Predator is the best one, the 1987 film. I think 99% of people probably say that.
They do.
Right? And people talk about this one isn't as good, this one isn't as good. I think we have to remember it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger film we're talking about, not a Predator film. No. We're talking about a prime era Arnold Schwarzenegger film.
Yes.
So I think people have to put that in when you have to look at it in that context, because you're never ever going to be able to replicate. As a matter of fact, what was brilliant about Predator, Jesse Ventura was in Search of Tomorrow too, and he was hysterical in the documentary. And Jesse said why he thought Predator was so good was because Schwarzenegger was smart enough to know for the movie to get good reviews critically and things like that, he needed the supporting cast to be amazing and have great moments and personalities. And when you look at the first Predator, I mean, dude, some of the biggest lines ever in that movie, or the biggest line in the movie, doesn't come from Arnold. It comes from Jesse Ventura. What's the one line people remember from Predator? I ain't got time to bleed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest line from Predator, and it doesn't come from Arnold. So I thought Jesse was, when he put it in those contexts, it really registered to me. This is the problem with this franchise. If you want to call it a problem, it's that we're talking about an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in his prime. You're never gonna.
And what's weird is, even if he came back for a sequel, it would not live up to the first one.
No, he's old.
So it's never going to work. Even if they did it in like the late 90s, it wouldn't have worked because it wouldn't have been the same thing.
Here's what I still don't understand, Brandon, and I don't know if the chat agrees with me on this or not. They showed great clips from Predator in the documentary. Mm-hmm. And I just watched Prey. I thought it was a good movie. I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars, mm-hmm. which I think is what I gave it on that what's that website called? Letterboxd.
Letterboxd. Oh, okay.
I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Why is it that the makeup for the first movie still looks the best and it's the oldest? Explain that to me.
I don't know, but the same makeup guy did part 2 also, right?
I wouldn't doubt it. And I have a reason why I think you're right, but I have a reason why I think not only why I think it looks better in 1 rather than 2, even if it's the same guy. That Predator looks the best in that fucking jungle.
Yeah, the color palette matches the jungle perfectly. The same color palette, the yellows, the greens, a little bit of like teal. I get it. The beige colors. Yeah. The color palette of the Predator matches the camouflage of like the jungle.
Yeah. Oh man, dude. Predator's so good. Now I want to watch Predator. Dylan, you son of a bitch.
I'm one of those guys who thinks Predator 2 is by far better than the first one. So I'm probably in the minority there.
It's a good movie.
But it's good.
It's a horror film, it really, I think Predator is just one of the best from the decade. Take whatever genre you want. I'm talking I think Predator is hysterical. I think it's almost like a Vietnam War movie.
It is.
There's so much to Predator. I think it's, when I think about Schwarzenegger, I always say that my favorite film is Last Action Hero. I think that's a brilliant movie. Then I always consider what my top 5 would be. This is something I'd love for the chat to get involved with. Top 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger films. Let's figure this out right now.
That's hard.
Number 1 is Last Action Hero for me. What is your number? We'll go 1 through 5. Number 1 for me is Last Action. What's your number 1 Arnold Schwarzenegger film?
And number 1 being the best?
Number 1 is the best to you.
Fuck. It's going to sound so typical, and I reserve the right to change this, but I'm going to say T2 just because that's like the heroic Arnold that I grew up with actively as a kid. You know what I mean? That's like the heroic version. So I'm gonna say T2 now as my number one, even though it's cliche as fuck. It's got to be T2 for sure.
People are saying Terminator 1.
He was scary in Terminator 1. Let's be honest. He was sketchy in Terminator 1. He did a good job.
Yeah. All right, so I'm sorry. So is T2 your number one, or is it T1 your number one?
T2 for sure.
Okay, so I'm Last Action Hero. My number 2 is got to be Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Terminator 2.
And are we talking just across the board Schwarzenegger, or just action?
Just plain old top 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger films.
Who is going to be Kindergarten Cop Schwarzenegger for me?
Really?
Absolutely.
Is it because girls have a vagina and boys have a penis?
That's right.
Oh man!
People forget how fucking funny that movie is. Even him, like, he's funny as shit in that movie.
Pizzow likes the Predator number 1. People are saying Total Recall in the chat. A lot of Total Recalls.
Shit.
Think about it. Okay, I'm ready for my number 3. You ready for? Oh yeah. You just said your number 2 is Kindergarten. My number 3. Are you ready for my number 3?
I'm ready.
My number 3 Arnold Schwarzenegger film, The Running Man.
That's a good one.
It's The Running Man is good when you watch it and realize it is that good, but it's not one that people revisit too often, I think. But when they do, they say this movie is hysterical. This movie is energetic. This movie is so 80s. It's just damn good. The Running Man is damn good. So that's my number 3.
Number 3, I'll probably go Predator 1 for me.
There you go. Yeah. And my number 4 is going to be the Predator 2. Predator 1, obviously. I almost want to put it at 3, but I did just watch The Running Man because of this documentary, The In Search of Tomorrow. And my wife was like, "That I remember The Running Man. Why do I feel like it's been so long since I've watched it?" I said, "Let's watch it. We have it on DVD." I've never had so much fun in my life. That movie is so damn good. Really? And the Family Feud guy's in it. The original, who's the guy? Remember the old Family Feud host?
Yeah, what the hell is his name?
He was hysterical in the movie. Who's the Family Feud host, chat? Are you looking it up?
Is it Gene Wood or Burton Richardson?
Oh, God. I can't remember the...
What the fuck? Joey Fatone hosts that show now?
Let me see. On
Burton Richardson, it's saying. Oh, never mind. Sorry, presented by Richard Dawson, Ray Cohn.
Richard Dawson. Oh, man, he was great. It's so good. No, Steve Harvey. Okay. Your number 4.
Commando. Yeah.
It's a good one. Commando's good.
No, I lied. No, number 4 is True Lies. It's got to be True Lies. Because number 5 has got to be what it is.
Okay.
And people are probably gonna hate me for it, but
Raw Deal is good. My number 5 is True Lies. I'm not a diehard Terminator 1 fan. I think I'm a way bigger fan of 2 than 1. The problem with Terminator 1 is I overanalyze it way too hard, and I keep telling myself, how did we get into this weird loop where John Connor had to be born, where the guy goes back in time to bang Sarah Connor? Like, how did that all? I just start putting pen to paper on that, and the more I think about it, the more ludicrous it seems to me.
See, there's the fucking plot for Terminator 3. That's what they should have done, is that shit right there.
You know? I think the movie itself is good, except I overanalyze that way too hard, and then I keep telling myself, what the fuck?
Yeah, the unbeatable paradox.
You know?
Yep.
What caused the ripple effect to where he had to go back in time to make the kid happen? I don't know. I think about it too much. I need to let go, but
that's gonna keep you up at night, actually.
Yeah, Alpha's right. You can't overthink 80s movies. You're right. Honorable mention. Oh, let's go to your number 5, then we'll give an honorable mention.
Jingle All the Way. And I'm not even. He is so fucking funny in that movie, and he's so Dad Schwarzenegger in that movie. It's perfect. Somebody's got to be with me in this. Okay, Dylan says Jingle All the Way right there. He's got it. He knows what I'm talking about.
Number one holiday movie of all time. It really is funny. That's the problem with Stallone. I'm a big Stallone fan, but he's actually a really funny guy, but he can never get that on screen very well. You know? Stallone could never he made some bad choices in the early 90s. You know, it's Stop or My Mom Will Shoot and Oscar, which is a very bizarre film, but
he was pretty funny in Demolition Man playing off Sandra Bullock, but that's pretty much all
Demolition Man was good, but yeah, it was good. It was just plain good. I really enjoyed Demolition Man a lot. My honorable mention is going to be none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins.
Twins is really good.
Twins is funny. I love Twins. Twins, I remember watching that for the first time probably like a decade or so ago, and when he's going through, it might have been Los Angeles or something, and you see the massive Rambo 3 poster and he starts flexing like his own muscle, looking at himself like, nah. Because those guys, I mean, they were the Stones and the Beatles in the 80s. You know, they were the two biggest action stars in the world, and Twins is funny. You know, there's been talk of Arnold was on Howard Stern about a year ago, and he said, we're going to do Twins, and we want to make Eddie Murphy the third twin, but he didn't want to do it. So apparently now they got another guy. Damn it. Which guy was it? Somebody in the chat has probably read up on it. He's a funny guy, but he's no Eddie Murphy. He doesn't have the star power of Eddie Murphy. Oh, God damn it. Somebody will say his name. But anyway, Twins is hysterical. I know that Shout Select just put that out on Blu-ray, and I want to get it because I think it's so funny. But yeah, I love Jingle All the Way. I love Red Heat.
Did you like the Conan movies?
They're good. They're not my favorite. They seem to have pretty big fan bases. Tracy Morgan. Yeah, Tracy Morgan is apparently going to be the third twin now. But I don't know if Ivan Reitman's still going to end up doing that. I don't know. You know, that's been a lot of talk, but no action as of yet. I'd say leave it alone if you can't get Eddie Murphy. I'd just say leave it alone.
Tracy Morgan would not be a good fit with those two, I don't think.
You know, yeah. I mean, and then you got to wonder, DeVito stays busy with that Sunny in Philadelphia show too, you know.
God damn, is that show still going on?
Yeah, I love that show.
I haven't seen it. Good things. It's been on for like 12 years, right?
It has. It just keeps going too. It's got such a fan base. When we all like to do Twins. Speaking of Nick, guys, tomorrow night we got a really great show. You don't want to miss that. We've got the You Need a Horror podcast. This is going to be fun, Brandon. I don't know if you've caught any of my videos I've done where I do like these weird facts from the Halloween films. I've done everyone.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, you know, I didn't plan. It's funny because somebody asked me. I did an interview the other day. They posted it today, and they were asking me why I was doing that. And I was like, you know, I really wasn't planning. I don't really go out of my way to do Halloween content, you know. But I was reading that book. I can't put that book over enough. Taking Shape.
I need to buy it.
It's so good. I mean, it's stuff because I've watched the 25 Years of Terror. I've watched the Scream Factory. I've watched it all. I've watched the documentary where Dee Snider's doing the voiceover, the narration. You know, I've watched all that stuff, and that book had stuff I never, ever, ever, ever heard about. I never heard that John Carpenter was almost going to get a Halloween 4 deal with Canon Pictures. Can you imagine a Canon Films Halloween movie? Can you imagine that?
It would have been sweet. It would have been sweet.
Can you imagine that? I mean, Jesus Christ. I never knew about any of that stuff. So the book's fantastic, and the people seem to enjoy those videos. So we got Halloween 2018 tomorrow, and a lot of people were telling me, you know, I got to finish reading the book tomorrow, and I'm highlighting stuff on the book, but I'm hoping they have some stuff about this supposed alternate bus scene stuff. A lot of people said that Jamie Lee wrecked that damn bus. You know, I don't know.
So speaking of 2018, I wanted to do a video about this, and this may have already been talked about. I'm just going to throw it out there. The bus crash in the film as it's presented right now, 2018. The doctor Sartain, he crashed the bus just to let Michael escape, right? That's what happened.
You
That's
know,
the
it's I think it's left up for interpretation, but that's like the thing I would go with, you
I know
know.
he says he arranged the transfer, and people are always like, why do they keep transferring him on Halloween night? And I agree, but I'm like, if he did it on purpose, that makes more sense.
I
Why the
just
fuck are they
yeah,
always moving him on Halloween night or Devil's
right,
Night? You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, Nick, the Crow episode was good. It's really sad. What's really sad about it is I love the Crow. I always wanted to see. You know about the Crow, Brandon. Like, you know how there was supposed to be all that stuff with Michael Berryman as the ghost cowboy.
Right.
Oh, the imagery from that looks so great. I always wanted to see the ghost cowboy scenes. You know, I messaged you a while back, and I want to follow up on this. The Crow 2 is absolutely fucking amazing. And
You get it. That's right.
I told you I was ashamed because I'm a diehard Iggy Pop fan. I have been for years. Love Iggy Pop. I think Iggy Pop's one of the greatest rock stars of our generation, of our our lifetime, quite frankly. And he was so good in that movie.
He is one of the best on-screen villains in any horror movie. I kind of consider the Crow movies to be horror, so I think Iggy Pop is probably one of the best villains. He's just so likably despicable in Crow 2.
Mm.
I could talk for 3 hours about how good the Crow 2 is, man.
I think people need to give those films a shot.
Oh yeah, part 2 is dripping with atmosphere, man.
It's really just a good movie.
It
I
is.
mean, there's no buts. There's no as long as you blank. You know, none of that stuff. It's so good.
It doesn't tread on Brandon Lee's legacy because it's a continuation of the world. It's not a
The
continuation
world.
of his story. And
Oh
Sarah
god.
is a good thread from the first film. You have Sarah there. You have Gabriel the cat. You see the mask on the mirror. Like the threads are there. It's a very organic sequel. A lot of
It's
people are like, it's such a ripoff. I'm like, it's not.
not a ripoff.
It's not.
It's not. It's
I
so
want to see
good.
that cut too, that 3 hour cut, the original cut. We're never going to see it, but I want to see it too. But the cut we have is still fucking fantastic. And the soundtrack kicks equal amounts of ass as the first one, in my opinion.
Let me ask you a difficult question. And the chat can get involved in this, but I think it's a conversation I'd like to have with people. Do you and I'm a big Brandon Lee fan. I want to make that known right now. God knows I wish he didn't pass. I love the movie Showdown in Little Tokyo he did with Dolph Lundgren. I think it's a great action film. Do you think that maybe in your, because I don't know how big a fan of you are of The Crow,
Huge.
is the movie so it's a tough question to ask, and I don't mean to be controversial by asking this, but you know, it's getting late at night and I like to talk about dark stuff like this. Do you think that movie might get a little, and again, I'm a fan too, but I don't think about it too much, but do you think the movie might be seen through a little bit of goggles through the public because of what happened? And do you think there's a little bit of a Nirvana effect with the movie?
Absolutely.
Because look,
Absolutely.
I like The Crow. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's one of the greatest films I've ever seen. I think it's a damn good movie, but I know it's a difficult thing, and I don't mean it to sound disrespectful. I wish he was still with us, but do you think there's a little bit of the Kurt Cobain effect?
It is. It for sure. Absolutely. Just like and this is going to be controversial too, but I stand by this. Just like The Dark Knight. That movie is a fantastic movie, as is The Crow. Fantastic fucking movies. Both of them are masterpieces in and of themselves. But they also are a little bit more revered because of the death of Heath Ledger and the death of Brandon Lee than they would have been otherwise if they had stayed alive, which would have been awesome if they stayed alive. But I do think that the movies are a little bit more loved because of the fact that those tragedies happened, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think it's a good. Well, I think it's good that the audience and the fans of that movie keep that film ever present too. I mean, it's just so sad because in that cursed films, They did oh god, if people haven't checked out Cursed Films, I remember when that came out a few years ago, I was singing that documentary's praises so much. I don't know if you've seen it, Brandon,
I haven't.
but oh my god. So they go over the legendary story.
Mhm.
Cursed Films goes over the legendary, horrifying story of the Twilight Zone movie directed by John Landis.
With the helicopter and all that shit.
You know what's crazy, Brandon? My jaw hit the floor. They showed the footage
Mhm.
of the guy and the kids getting killed in the documentary.
See, like the head over here and stuff, kind of thing.
Well, it's very quick, but you know, it was really sad because the production designer for the movie was doing all the talking and interviewing in the segment. Obviously, John Landis wanted nothing to do with the making of this episode of Cursed Films because he was a director. You know, somebody's in charge on that set, and there's who's higher. There's no one higher than the director on the set of the film. But they show what happened. There's all these explosions going off, and the helicopter wasn't high up enough, and the explosions and the heat sucked the helicopter down. It lost control, and the damn dude, it's horrible. I mean, the helicopter literally, and I don't mean to sound morbid to the chat, but this is real life. That helicopter sliced the guy and the two kids in half, just sliced them in half. Oh my God.
Right.
It was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, there's footage. I've seen the footage of that very quick shot of the helicopter going down, and there's footage they paused it in like one of the frames because I know the main, in addition to being sliced, two of them were actually decapitated as well. And in the freeze frame, you can see two little circles, silhouettes.
Oh God.
Like this is probably their heads. As morbid as it is, that was a fucked up.
It's horrible what happened. And you know, Landis and all them went to court, you know.
Yeah. His reputation was forever pretty much tarnished after that. And I guess somewhat well deserved. You know what I mean? I mean, he was partly responsible.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he did it on purpose.
Right.
Obviously, but the fact of the matter is, you know, that could have been avoided. Hindsight's 2020. I get it, but I mean, that could have been avoided. It's just sad. But that Cursed Films is great. And then season 2, what I loved was they did Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
because you know those clips. I remember when I first got on YouTube, one of the first clips I watched was I'm sure the chat remembers this too. The dwarf in the hanging.
Yeah.
And you know that there was actually a lot of crazies. Like the woman who played the witch got real sick because of that paint they put on her face. Made her, it was like a metallic paint.
Yeah.
And it like really messed up her skin. It was, oh man. But that's a great series.
I need to
watch
those things.
You know. I love Cursed Films, especially The Serpent and the Rainbow and Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust is such a good story. I mean, the story itself is as wild as the movie. Big fan of that movie. We got some Halloween talk in here. The Dark Knight. Nick says The Dark Knight is a top 50 movie of all time. The Crow has a unique aesthetic, great music, and a gripping story. I think it would have been a hit anyway, and Brandon Lee would have become a superstar. I do agree 100% with that. I do agree with that. I think he would have done even bigger and better things after that, quite frankly.
And speaking of which, Ledger probably would have also in the Dark Knight situation.
Yeah, I love the Dark Knight. I thought the Crow was okay. I don't care if I love or hate ends. As a diehard fan, I can't wait to be back seated for a Halloween film. The Little Things. That's good, Dylan. I'm happy that you're excited. I'm really excited for Halloween Ends, Brandon. I think it's going to be different.
I'm so excited, and I'm so relieved that I can sit my fat ass here on my couch and watch it from the comfort of my home. Not that I don't miss the theater experience, but in where I live, the last decade or so has been horrible in theaters. It's a terrible experience. Every single movie, man.
I understand.
The crowd.
The crowd
can ruin it.
Nowadays, they've got you can get such nice TVs and sound systems. I mean, you're getting pretty damn close to
Yeah, and I hate that too because I want the theater experience. I still want to go out to the big screens to get the popcorn and pay $80 for a soda. I want that experience, but
Right.
the kids, I hate to that sound like a fucking 85-year-old man, but the kids these days really fucking ruin the experience because when I was a kid, even in my idiot years of early teenage years, I never went to a theater to fuck around and throw shit and talk on my phone and do all this stuff. I went there to watch the fucking movie. Nowadays, it's like everybody in the theaters are talking on the cell phones, taking
Mm,
pictures, throwing
right.
shit. Like every theater experience has been a nightmare. The only good one I can think of was Three from Hell a couple years ago, and that was a pretty small theater. So
I did the Three from Hell where I got to watch The Devil's Rejects right before it.
that's cool.
Oh, it was so great seeing that.
Awesome.
I watched an interview with Rob the other day. I was always under the impression he filmed House with a Thousand Corpses in 16 millimeter, but he said he used 35 for that. And he said he didn't like the way the movie looked. He thought it looked too good. So that's why he went to 16 for Devil's Rejects. And then he said he used 16 for the Halloween films too. I like 16 millimeter film. There's something about it. I mean, obviously, Texas Chainsaw was 16. And what I like about 16, it's like there's this sense of, there you showed a shot of the behind the scenes where the guys, excuse me, it's the last scene of the movie in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, on the drive on the road where she's in the bed of the truck and everything. The guy's holding this small camera just on his, like, that's 16 millimeter. Like, the cameras were tiny.
Yep.
You know, it's just amazing to know that that little thing
Yep.
is filming with the greatest horror film ever made. Can you imagine that?
The aesthetic of 16 millimeter is pretty crazy, and I can't figure out why it's so good and so visceral and so gritty. It's not just the film grain. There's something else about it. I don't know if it's because we grew up watching those old documentary films like in school and stuff, like industrial movies that are shot in 16. So we're kind of, it's built into our circuitry,
Right.
that visual aesthetic. I don't know what it is, but 16 millimeter is so great
It's great.
for horror, man.
I need to go on like a Google search for just 70s horror shot in 16 millimeter. You know, I just want to see everything shot in 16. It's just gorgeous.
Speaking of 16 millimeter, you saw the double feature you said of Devils and Three from Hell. So I know that Three from Hell was, they made the digital effect of 16 millimeter, right, for that movie. It wasn't shot on film.
Right.
Could you see the big difference of the organic 16 millimeter of Devil's Rejects to the digital version of Three from Hell? Was it noticeable?
Oh yeah. I don't think that they've got the technology worked out good enough yet to mimic it. Now, on the musician side of things, I can tell you that, my band, we recorded our EP. What was the name of the EP? I forgot the name of our EP. But anyway, we recorded that real. We mic'd our amps and everything.
Nice.
Now, there are simulators now. We played in a room. We played it just like the 70s bands. I mean, I love our EP. I forgot the name of our EP, though. Let me just show people, that way they know. Because I think people still appreciate bands that record their fucking music. What is the name of our EP? We got a lot of shit out on Near. So type in Cold Canyons on Spotify or iTunes and check out Near. That's our EP. We recorded this record, Brandon. This is our EP. We recorded it like the fucking classic Aerosmith records. We were in the room.
All analog. That's killer, man.
Everything was analog. All of us are mic'd up. We're in a room. We isolate the guitar amps, but they're mic'd up. We all got headphones on, so we're all hearing each other. My guitar player's playing. Caleb is playing and singing. Me on bass. Drummer doing his thing. And if you listen, you can tell that's us in a room, but everything is just so organic sounding. It's my favorite thing we ever did. And but anyway, what I was getting at is they have plugins now that are doing really good at mimicking the classic Marshall stacks. And you can be tricked there, but I don't think that the technology's made it to film yet, to mimic film.
Mm.
I think that they try. And Zombie said he bought, I forgot what kind of camera it was, but I looked into what it was. I remember when it came out, it was like a $6,000 camera that he used for the movie. And
Three from Hell?
On Three from Hell. That movie soured on me. I'm not really digging Three from Hell as much as I was. I think we should have shut the production down when Sid got sick, and
It's a 6.5 for me out of 10 at best.
but that's low for a zombie, right? Because he's so unique. Usually you either love or hate his films. It's weird to have a middle ground zombie film, you know?
Yeah, it's Devil's Rejects was just such a perfect ending, man. I like that Three from Hell exists. It's cool that it kind of continued, but I think I would have preferred it if they had just stayed dead, because it was such a bold ending. You know what I mean? It's been undone. So
Yeah.
you
So I
got,
was
sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I'm just saying, I mentioned this before, but if he was going to do a part 3, I think he should have done a balls to the wall supernatural film where they were dead, and then like Dr. Satan breaks into the morgue and revives them, and just do something totally outlandishly unlike the first 2 films. Whereas Three from Hell was more of a continuation of Devil's Rejects. It should have been something entirely different, because people wanted Dr. Satan back anyway. He should have just made it a fucking movie where they come back from hell literally and poetically, like, you know what I mean, like, and have
they never found Satan. They never found him.
Yeah.
Considering after they cut all the scenes out of Rejects anyway.
Yeah.
I'll put my stuff on Spotify, Alexis, but that's kind of what my Patreon was for. I mean, just for $1 a month, you can all that stuff is cataloged on my Patreon. All those covers you hear. What's up, Billy Bean? I haven't seen you here tonight. Sid getting sick was why it was rushed. Everyone, including Sid, knew he was dying. Well, here's the interesting thing about that, Billy Bean. So if you go to Spotify or iTunes and you look up that Eli Roth History of Horror podcast, they have a podcast with Rob from 2020. And Rob said, I didn't know this. So Rob wrote the script for Three from Hell. And he said, I wrote the script with Sid Haig as the main character. Like, he was one of the 3 from Hell. The movie was going to be Sid, Sherry, and Bill. And right before, about a few weeks before production was supposed to start, Rob said he was hiding the fact that Sid was sick from Lionsgate. As far as I'm aware, this was the first Rob told the story. And he said, I hid the fact, and this is on that podcast, guys, so y'all please go listen to it. He said, I hid the fact that he was sick from Lionsgate. I was scared of what they were going to say or do, and I was hoping Sid was going to get better. He said not long after that, he went and visited Sid, and he said he just clearly could tell that Sid was sick. So he went and told Lionsgate, and he said Lionsgate just shut the movie down and said, it's not happening. We're done. And so Rob said he freaked out, and they had already started shooting a little bit of stuff. But what he did was, and when I say a little bit of stuff, I mean just a little bit. I think he said just a couple days worth of stuff they had shot. And I think it was probably mostly Sherry stuff in the prison. So he said over a weekend, he reworked the script with the Midnight Wolfman character. And he said, miraculously, Lionsgate read it and said, okay, we'll do it. We know Richard Brake. You've worked with Richard Brake. We know he's a talent. Whatever. We'll do the movie. And so they managed to make a set for Sid to do that scene he did, which he was still great, all things considered. But that's what happened. So it's like it's nothing against Richard Brake. I don't think he's the problem. I just think it's I don't know. It seems very antithetical to what Rob. I don't know. It's like, it's fun. Yeah, he said he didn't want to do Halloween 2, and then they weren't doing it. And then he said, you know what? F it. If you guys are going to do it, I may as well do it. Those are the characters in my authorship. He didn't create the characters, obviously. It's a remake. But so he did that. I just didn't expect Three from Hell.
Three from Hell doesn't ever justify its existence.
And not only that, this is something else that I've soured on. It feels like a imitation Devil's Rejects. And what I mean by that is, I think if they would have made a movie about them breaking Sherry out of prison for a movie, that would have been better. But if it would have been a totally different vibe movie, because of how different it is from House. And then the third one could have been, like you said, Supernatural. You've got the first one, which is the Texas Chainsaw meets Rocky Horror.
Right.
Then you've got the Wild Wild West movie, the Western. We should have made Three from Hell, like you said, be different again, totally different from the other two. The Supernat. Oh, man.
Yeah. And it's weird too, because when you first saw the trailers for Three from Hell, that the clown guy, what's the actor's name who plays the clown who shows up and does the party in Three from Hell?
That's Clint Howard, but I forgot is it Baggy Britches?
Yeah, when they show him in the trailer and he's throwing the glitter, in my head, I was like, okay, so he's running Spalding's gas station show for Spalding, who's in prison. I was like, this is going to be a movie about him breaking them out. Like, that's what I took from it. And this was such a, like I said, I enjoyed the film. It's a 6.5. But I remember being in the theater being really deflated by how, like you said, it's not a Xerox of Devil's Rejects, but there's a lot of the same beats.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's in the past. Another thing that's obviously big controversy right now is obviously the Munsters with Rob. My wife saw the trailer. The trailer was on the trailer for the movie. It was a teaser, obviously, but it was on the Black Phone Blu-ray. And Sydney was like, fuck it, I'll watch that.
I think it's gonna be
fun. It's harmless. It is what's out. It's the Munsters. So. I am looking forward to obviously Crimes of the Future from David Cronenberg and Heavy Metal, though. Gonna watch those tomorrow, like if I have the time. I'm always busy. I don't think I have anything to do, and then tomorrow I'll have 1,000 things to do. I just know it.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, this has been fun. We'll go just a few more minutes for people that have last minute questions. But thank you all for hanging out. I'm trying to stream more. I need to stream more. People like the streams apparently. Again, go to let me see if I can pull up the page again. I don't know what we have left in the store, but let's see. We sold another one since we started. We've got a couple wax melts left, guys. Remember, we've got Elm Street coming out next Friday. Here's the Etsy store. We've got a couple wax melts left. Go on the site. Support old CHH. They ship out tomorrow if you buy it tonight. They smell great. God, they're safer than candles too, Brandon. I mean, you don't have to worry about leaving your if you leave a candle on when you leave the house. I mean, that's a headache in itself. But you leave the wax warmer on. It's the light bulb. They're so much safer. They're just so much. I love the wax melts.
Yeah, I was burning a Halloween candle 2 nights ago, and Isabel was like, "What's this?" And she was trying to grab the fucking candle. Like, okay, well, maybe this is not a good idea. Shanna has a wax melt thing. I'm like, okay, we can get some of Christian's wax melts.
Oh, they're great. They're great. But yeah, so guys, if you want one, grab it from the site. Jeff, message me on Instagram if it's saying it won't let you buy one. I know we have some of the Hooper ones left in stock. Quick thoughts on the recent Scream Factory announcements. So one of the Scream Factory announcements that made me really, really happy is an 80s movie called The Company of Wolves. Have you seen that one, Brandon? It's a great film.
I have not for a long time, not since the 90s, but it was those iconic VHS tapes on shelves back in the day.
With such a good movie.
Yeah.
Right. It's a Canon picture at that too. It's like a Little Red Riding Hood movie. It's so good though. It's such a great movie.
Canon Films, man. Everybody at that fucking company was on some other kind of cocaine back then because they were producing some crazy, crazy stuff.
I have a documentary. I don't know if it's right here actually. It's called The Go-Go Boys. It's the story of Canon Films. Starring the great Menahem Golan. It's great. Jean-Claude Van Damme's in here. Talks about Bloodsport, obviously. Bloodsport. What? That's a Canon film right there, right? Bloodsport.
I think so.
It's probably my favorite. The soundtrack to Bloodsport is just phenomenal. It's so good. I love Bloodsport. Top 3 or 4 Canon films. You have any? I give you my top. Texas Chainsaw 2 is obviously a top 5 Canon films.
One.
I think Bloodsport's my favorite. I'm such a big Van Damme guy. I'd say Bloodsport. What about Masters of the Universe?
Oh yes, that's in the top 3 for sure. I always forget that's a canon film.
Mm.
That movie, I don't care what people. That movie kicks fucking ass. Okay.
Dolph Lundgren,
Yeah,
Courtney Cox.
that movie. Well, besides her, I think I don't like any of the Earth stuff from that movie, but that movie itself is so good. Skeletor kicks all kinds of ass in that movie.
Mm. Yeah.
Was Slaughterhouse a canon film? I don't think it was.
No, that little slasher film. No. I'll tell you what else is a great canon film. Over the Top. Stallone. That was a good one. I also really like Death Wish 2.
Death Wish 2.
Oh, I think that those movies are just amazing, man. They're such great vigilante justice. You remember that scene where Bronson goes into that little underground cave thing, and that guy is that murderer that took part in a very nasty sexual escapade, lack of a better word, if you catch my drift, with his maid.
Right.
He's clenching that rosary, and he goes, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And he's like, "Yeah." You're about to meet him. Boom.
That was part 2. That wasn't part 3.
That was part 2. Part 3 is the one where it's like the gangs in the streets, and he buys a car and puts the car out in the streets and uses it as a decoy to kill him. But that scene, that's the great in part 2. That's the best scene in part 2. Is the do you believe in Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
You're about to meet him. I love Death Wish 2.
Which was the one where they go to like the really small town? Is that 5?
4 or 5. I haven't seen 5. I've seen 4, but I don't remember it too well. I didn't think they were as good as 2 and 3. I love, the first one's actually a good movie. It's a good movie. Death Wish.
It pisses me off that he actually never gets revenge on the actual assailants in part 1 who actually like raped his daughter or whatever. Like he never finds Jeff Goldblum in that gang.
People gotta remember too. Goldblum was in that movie. He was a kid in that movie.
Yeah,
so young.
So weird. The first time I saw that, I'm like, what the fuck? That's Goldblum right there.
And it's so funny because, what's the name of Charlie Bronson in those movies? Damn it.
I'll look this up.
I forget his name, but he starts out as just like a clean cut, nice guy, right? And then all of a sudden, he gets the gun as a gift. Paul Kersey, thank you. Total Meltdown. He gets that gun as a gift and then takes the law into his own hands.
Yeah. And
then I love the ending because like the police guy says, just leave, but we're not going to do anything to you. You've been doing our job. I mean, it's really telling, it's really a message almost like with the culture we have today, people are bringing up some great ones. My buddy Slaughterport's saying Invasion USA. I mean, talk about a great guy. I mean, we're talking about the great Chuck Norris. I mean, he was just all up in those canon films. Invasion USA. He also did Missing in Action.
Mm-hmm.
Missing in Action's a good one. Just so good. We have a couple Tobe Hooper films. Have you seen Tobe Hooper's Life Force? Man, that's a hell of a movie. Jesus Christ. He said he was on so many drugs when he did Life Force. It was amazing.
It was like an outer space vampire flick, right? I haven't seen it in a long time.
Right. Life Force is an outer space vampire zombie end of the world movie. I mean, it cost millions of dollars, that movie. 10 to Midnight. Oh my God. You guys are bringing up some amazing canon film. 10 to Midnight's one of the best slasher films I've ever seen. It's so good.
10 to Midnight ends with the police surrounding him at the end, right? And like he has his hands in there and they shoot him or something.
I think they shoot him. I just remember Charlie's chasing him and he's bare ass naked. 10 to Midnight's one of the best of, dude. That is peak canon films. Oh my God. You guys have me wanting to watch more Charlie Bronson films. Charlie was great. I mean, he was so good. Yeah, canon films is the real deal. There's some great canon films. Yeah, but I think we can start wrapping it up. We're at the 2-hour mark. You guys have been amazing in the chat. Thank you. Everybody's given some great recommendations on canon films. Yeah, Invasion USA. We talked about that. Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3, The Domination is hysterical. Ninja 3 is great. Brandon, why don't you tell everybody what you've got coming up?
I've got a bunch of working on a bunch of reviews and stuff for the Halloween season. I'm trying to do the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm not going to do another fucking Leatherface Day style thing.
How about that? That was great.
That was a lot of work for. I'm not going to do that to myself again. That was grueling to get that shit done. So I'll probably do one like every other couple days or something. Do the whole series.
So what's coming up Halloween? You do some Halloween? Are you going to do a Halloween day, or are you going to do something kind of close to it, or not? Not that.
I might do a special or something, but I'm going to do all the movies if I can. A couple of them a week. I'm going to review like the Charlie Brown Halloween special. Try to do like a best of the Simpsons Halloweens. Just a lot of cool stuff. Review some Goosebumps episodes. I'm really trying to get mode.
How did it feel hitting that 1,000? You've done it before, but doing it a second time.
It was cool. A lot more personal this time because like the other account, it's the other account's a dumping ground of my own personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't connect with the audience as much as I do on Tomato Vision. So it was very cool. I didn't even realize it until like 2 days later. I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit, this is 1,000. When did that happen?
The channel's growing pretty fast then, huh?
Yeah. I think so, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. I think you got a great channel. And I haven't put out an official video yet, but you made me that new intro, which is just phenomenal. I love it so much.
Cool.
I really took to Planet CHH. I think the audience likes it too. I think I got lucky with my rebrand. You know, I was really nervous. It was just not going to work, but I like what I got going on. It's obviously a play on Planet Hollywood, but I like my little Batwing Planet Earth. I like it. I think it works. I'm happy with Planet CHH.
Got some good branding going on there for sure. Christian Hit of Horror had a good flow to it, but Planet CHH seems like it's really caught on. It caught on real quick. Like there was you didn't look like you had a speed bump there. It kind of just flowed.
Well, you know, you just gotta fake it till you make it.
Right.
You know, it works. I'm happy. I haven't looked back. But thanks, Brent. I really appreciate you hopping out with me tonight. I'm trying to do weekly random BS sessions where I just talk to cool people and just relax. Of course, the podcast is usually once a week with Nick.
Mm-hmm.
You Need a Horror podcast. That's right. We're just living on Planet CHH. But I can't wait to show that that new intro. I gotta get it. I've been doing too many live streams. I haven't been able to put out a standard video. But thank you, Leon.
Did you make some music for it and stuff?
I did. I did a cover of the Return of the Living Dead 2. Bow, 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 bow,
cool.
Right. I did a recover of that, which was sounding pretty cool, but I'm seeing how it works. I kind of feel like I need something a little faster paced, but I think it works.
Nice.
So, yeah, just a reminder on my end, guys, tomorrow, I'm really excited. We're going to be doing the story of Halloween 2018. I really hope that there's some information on supposed alternate endings and deleted scenes and test screenings and things like that. The book has been great, so I expect the book I'm going to highlight stuff. We're not just going to read I'm not going to read the entire chapter. So me and Nick will be doing You Need It tomorrow. I'm excited about that. I've been doing videos lately. You know, Brandon, this is kind of working for me. Instead of just doing a movie review or Blu-ray review, I'm kind of just like watching a bunch of movies and do a video where I just talk about all of them and just kind of be brief. I think the people enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll probably get something like that out this week. Probably go to Spirit. Have you been to Spirit Halloween yet?
Ours is not open yet. It's fucking pissing me off. I'm seeing everybody else's videos for like the last 3 weeks. Spirit's open. God. We have 2 of them locally, and they've been there's nothing in there. I've been going up to the fucking windows. They're bare. It says coming soon. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on? I mean, our Michaels, our Hobby Lobbies, our Home Goods, our Marshalls are stacked with really good Halloween stuff this year.
No Spirit.
Yeah, no Spirit.
Hang tight, man.
That stuff at Lowe's kicked ass though. That Freddy and Jason stuff.
How about that?
I'm gonna go back there and pick up all that shit.
Yeah, how about that? So yeah, I guess we'll actually end it this time. Again, last thing, go check out what we got left at the You Need a Candles. Remember, next week is the Nightmare on Elm Street series. It's gonna be great. Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through 5. It's gonna be awesome. So we'll have a Nightmare 1 candle Freddy's Revenge, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, and the Dream Child candle. You can guess what the artwork on some of those. If you know me, you'll know what'll be on the artwork for part 5. Smell-wise, I've got some great ideas. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, go to my videos and just like look at the description. I have the You Need a Candle store in there, all that stuff. Get what's left. The Creature's great, guys. I think somebody might have bought that though. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys. Come hang out tomorrow night. You Need a Horror podcast. After that, we'll see what happens. But you have been listening to good old CHH live with his buddy Brandon. Brandon, dude, thanks for coming. It's been fun, man.
It has been fun. Thanks for having me again. This is pretty awesome.
This was like a chill. I wasn't over the top tonight. I had a long day. You were just chill tonight.
Oh yeah.
Good conversation. You know, it doesn't get better than that. You know,
good stuff. Good stuff.
You know? What are you watching tonight? You watching anything tonight before bed? Are you going to bed?
I might have to watch Ghoulies, man, because the box set's just staring me in the eye right now.
Go for it. Go for it.
Either that or Zombie 4. I'm not really sure which one.
I'm gonna go watch Heavy Metal. You
gotta, yeah, that movie's fucking, it's gonna flip your lunch tray. For sure.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, legitimately, thank you for hanging out. We love you. Please drop a like on the stream before you go. Drop a comment, all that good stuff. We love you. We'll see you guys later. Good night.